Okay. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. I don't know where to start this, honestly. So, I don't know if you saw my last video, but if you didn't, essentially, there was a closet here in the tiny house to my right. I guess it would be your left. When you enter, it was right in here, and we took that closet down. Because where the window is, that's where I want the kitchen to be. What's next on the list is that, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but behind me where this big window is, I am trying to build a breakfast nook. I mentioned this very briefly in my last video, but I just got an interim security clearance, which means I will be starting my job soon, which is why I felt the urge to, you know, try to work on this as much as I can, contribute as much as I can. I really have never used any tools before. I mean, the most I've used is an electrical screwdriver. What is it called? A drill? Yeah, a drill. I've used drills to like make holes in walls and, you know, hang up art and paintings and stuff, but that's literally all I've done. I have no prior experience, but I want to get shit done. I want to contribute to building my tiny house, and I want to learn hands-on. But yeah, with that being said, let's get started. When I went to Home Depot, which I did go, I bought some wood stain, and I decided on the color, the oil that's called oil-based wood stain that's called Provincial, something like that. With that being said, I'm staining the wood. Apparently you're supposed to sand it and then stain it, even prime it, but this is hardwood, so we don't have to prime it or use wood conditioning, I guess that's what it's called. So I'm just staining it. Hi, Maru-chan. Come here. I am not going to go around this whole house sanding every single piece of wood, every piece of siding, so it's just going to look super rustic, and I'm okay with that. I like that look, and I like how it's going to look. Now here's my thing. I knew you had to stain wood that was sanded and smooth. However, I didn't want to do that because the tiny house is pretty big and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time sanding. So I was like, you know what? It's gonna give me the same look if I just stain it without sanding it. That was not true. That was not the case. The look was a lot more rustic than I anticipated. I like it. However, a few pieces of wood came out a completely different color compared to the others. So some of the siding is like a nice dark brown, like the brown that I got, and some pieces are just, they look black. I started like 3 projects today and I didn't finish any of them. So my goal tomorrow, since it's Friday, my goal is to finish sanding the outside of the house, and if I have more time, which I don't think I will. Sanding is a very tedious, long process, so we'll see how that goes. But if I have time, hopefully finish at least the base frame for the breakfast nook. So yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see since the sun is kind of coming through the trees, but it, as I said, it's like super textured, super grainy. Some spots are a lot darker. I mean, the sun is shining on that, so that doesn't really count. But I guess like here you'll see like these streaks. Alright, I look ridiculous. I look like I'm bald. I don't care. It's hot outside. I don't want to burn my forehead. I lost my sunscreen, or I think it's in my boyfriend's car, and he's all the way in Irvine. So we're gonna make do. Also, you're not gonna believe this because I didn't even believe it when it was happening. And I didn't want to film it because I didn't want people to be like, oh, you're doing it wrong. But you know what? I did it and it works. I built the first part of the breakfast nook, and that is 100% all me. I cut the wood, I measured it all out, it's all built, and it's leveled, so don't come at me. With that being said, I cut most of this wood over here. This is the rest of this cut wood is for the other part of the breakfast nook, and I was missing 4 more pieces of these lengths. And they are 2x4s, and I thought we ran out. However, there's some more, so I'm gonna record myself building the second one. Anyways, it's November and we just barely finished painting the tiny house, and yeah, I mean there's like a lot of touch-ups that I have to do, and the exterior still needs to be finished. We finished one side at least, one of the long sides. Now we just gotta finish up the 2 short sides and the last long side. But I'm really grateful to my family for coming out to help. It was much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, there's really no update. You're hungry? So as you can see, we finally put the hutch inside the tiny house. This is gonna be part of our kitchen. You know, we have storage here. There's more storage up here, and it's like a little shelf at the top. So I'm really excited to like get this cleaned. It's super dusty because it's been outside since we bought it. It's like super dusty, super dirty. But apart from that, we finally were able to get the butcher block in. This cabinet we bought from Home Depot. It was like, what was it? It was unfinished. This was completely unfinished. And we were able, or I was able to stain this. You'll see that I actually used it over here on the bench. I built the bench, and this one came out terribly. So I'll show you that after. But it was terribly done. I still have those two to go. This is the cushion that we're using for the bench. It's about 4 inches thick. And I'm going to be making a seat cover for it. It fits just perfectly, but I think I'm still gonna make some cuts. However, we'll see how that goes. Now, right next to the hutch, we have this space from the wheel wells. They stick out from the floor, so not everything is leveled, which is perfectly fine though, because I told my boyfriend we're gonna need some storage for our clothes and shoes and stuff. So we are building like a custom-made closet. And so far, I mean, I can see it, I like it, I think it's looking good. Yeah! And then apart from that, we were able to make the cut for the sink. However, a piece did break. It's right here, but we're not too worried about it since it's literally gonna overlap with the sink. And we just bought the proper glue in order to glue it back together and then seal it. We also bought this with the countertop. That's what we're gonna use as like, to complete it, like since water is probably gonna fall and stuff. We're gonna seal it. And then above that, we're gonna do a thin layer of this backsplash. It's real stone, and I think it's so beautiful, and I think it's gonna look perfect. Apart from that, this wall is gonna have a bunch of kitchen shelves. I really wanted this pot rack hanger, however, it did not fit, as you can see. I tried shortening the chains, but it's really just meant for like large houses, which is fine. That's not what we have, but I liked it. I saw the vision. We saw it, and it doesn't work for us. Happy New Year, and welcome to 2025. I'm currently in the tiny house, and can you believe that we're still not done with it? It's crazy. My goal was to finish it. Ooh. My goal was to finish it around like October. Wow, is that super unrealistic. To be fair though, I set that goal back when I was not employed full-time. So I feel like it could have been realistic, but I found a job in September, and yeah. I was going to say, I'm currently in the tiny house. Today we spent all day, mind you, this is our day off. We get this day off from like work, and we decided to like spend time working on the tiny house. However, it is like really enjoyable for us to work on it, so no complaints for me. But I finally finished, what is it called? Closing off the storage area from the breakfast nook. So all of this was like exposed insulation, microfiber insulation, and finally sealed it off. I did the caulking around the edges, as well as like these edges. I still need to do one more just because I left like a few gaps, but it's all done pretty much. And we just finished this bench with the
hydraulic pistons.
It was pretty straightforward, and then when you do it, it's not. So these pistons right here, we bought off of Amazon, and we made sure to get like a heavy duty one because we thought this plywood was like way more heavier than it needed to be, but we realized that with the 2 pistons, it's actually fine, but we still need it anyways just for like stability and structure. It took us like more than 3 hours to install.
Yeah, about. We fought like 2 times.
Yeah, we did fight a couple of times. But pretty much it's finally installed, the storage inside is finished, and as you can see, I have my sewing machine case here, so it's definitely coming in handy. So it's been quite a process, honestly, building out this place. It's so crazy to think about because if you were to ask me like 2 years ago, building a tiny house was like one of my dreams. And if I never like, I didn't have any skills at all. Like I wouldn't know how to use a freaking, what is it called? The circular saw?
A handsaw.
I wouldn't know how to use a handsaw if someone like, if my life depended on it at that time.
Handsaw.
But you literally like, you just YouTube things and you figure it out. You know, there's gonna be a lot of trial and error. All of the things that I was hand sawing at the beginning were like super uneven, wobbly, like so bad. It was just bad. And there are certain tools that I didn't even know I needed that we ended up having to buy, like a sander and all that stuff. But it really is just like, you figure it out. Everything in this tiny house we've literally done from scratch, except for like the electricity, of course, and which I feel like we could have done, but we chose not to because that would have just taken way too long. Yeah, but everything else we've built ourselves. We have our desks installed, which are like foldable pop-up desks. It's just gonna be so cool. I bought the specific brackets from Amazon as well. So yeah, a lot of work has been done and we still have to finish off the kitchen. Everything before the plumbing is things that we're taking care of. We're gonna install some shelves. It's gonna be all open shelving just because